When I was about 9 years old, I lived with my mom and little sister in a small house on a quiet street. It was the kind of neighborhood where kids rode their bikes until dusk and everyone knew each other. By all accounts, it should have felt safe. But even then, there was something about that house that didn't feel right. My mom used to say it was just old. And old houses make noises. But some of the things I remember from that time weren't the kind of noises houses make. They were something else. Something I still can't explain, Dot. It started one night when I couldn't sleep. I was lying in bed, blanket tucked under my chin, staring up at the glow-in-the-dark stars on my ceiling. My room was small, just a bed, a dresser, and a toy chest near the window. Outside, tree branches swayed in the wind, casting moving shadows on the walls. I told myself that was all I was seeing, but then I noticed one shadow wasn't moving like the others. It was low in the corner by my toy chest. At first, I thought it was just a pile of clothes or one of my stuffed animals. I almost laughed at myself for being scared until I blinked, and the shadow was gone. A cold feeling ran through me, the kind of cold that comes from inside your body, not the air. I pulled the blanket over my head and eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I didn't think much of it until I noticed my toy chest was standing open. I never left it that way because my mom would get angry if toys spilled out. I shut it quietly and didn't say a word. A few weeks later, my little sister, who was only 5, told my mom she didn't like the man in the closet. She said it so casually as if it were just a fact. I froze when I heard her. My mom brushed it off, saying, "Little kids imagine things." But I saw my sister's face. She wasn't making it up, Dot. She said he would stand in the closet at night and whisper, but she couldn't understand the words. My mom prayed with her that night, but never checked the closet. Later that same night, I woke to the sound of something dragging across my floor, like fingernails scraping wood. I was too scared to move. The sound stopped right beside my bed. I was sure if I looked over the edge, I'd see something staring up at me. I froze under the blanket until sleep finally came. The next morning, there were fresh scratches on the floor beside my bed, long gouges, as if something had clawed at the wood. I ran to show my mom, but she got angry. She said I must have been dragging furniture or playing with something sharp. I swore I hadn't, but she didn't believe me, Dot, after that. The nights got worse. I heard faint whispers from my closet, like a radio playing on low volume. Sometimes my sister would cry in her room, pointing to the corner and saying, "He's there. He's there." I never saw him, but I believed her. You know the feeling when someone's watching you, when the hairs on your arms stand up? That's how it felt. The scariest night happened in the middle of winter. I woke to find my bedroom door open, even though I always shut it. The hallway light my mom left on for us was still glowing. But as I stared, it went out. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate, coming down the hall. They stopped just outside my door. I wanted to scream for my mom, but nothing came out. The door creaked. A tall, dark shape leaned in, only its head visible, poking into the room. I shut my eyes and pretended to be asleep. When I opened them again, the door was closed. I was alone down in the morning. I asked my mom if she'd come into my room. She said no. She'd been asleep all night. My sister said she saw the man again standing by her bed. We told my mom together, and for the first time she looked worried. She lit a candle and said a prayer in each room of the house. Things went quiet for a while after that, but not for long. One afternoon, I came home from school before my mom. I was on the couch doing homework when I heard my toy chest slam shut in my room. Nobody else was home. I tried to tell myself it was the wind, but when I went down the hall, my bedroom door was wide open. The toy chest was closed, but all my toys were scattered across the floor, as if someone had dumped them out. Backed away and waited outside until my mom came home. She didn't believe me. She said the cat must have knocked things over. Years later, after we moved out, I asked my mom if she had ever experienced anything in that house. She hesitated, then admitted she had. She said sometimes she woke up to see a shadow standing in her doorway. She never told us because she didn't want to scare us. She believed it was a man, someone who used to live there. She never said more than that. But I know what I saw. I know what my sister saw. Even now, as an adult, when I think about that time, my stomach knots up. It wasn't our imagination. It was something real, and it wanted us to know it was there. Sometimes, late at night when I can't sleep, I still hear the sound of nails dragging across the floor.